Because I'm a PhD here, I'm finished the thesis, waiting for the Viva, and it's very happy to be here to share some my work here. And my PhD work focused on the use of deep learning technologies to analyze the painting research. But based on that, I'm doing a little bit more because the more and more like large models are focused on not only the images, not only the text, but people are trying to combine them together. That text, image, that's multimodal model. Okay, thank you. So that's a hard one. And so today I'm focused on these kind of models and to see, trying to point out some issues that I met. And then I try to analyze the why. We go to see the neural network structure, and maybe you can figure out a little bit why this happens, and then what can we do based on that. So let's go to the first one. So when I try to ask the ChatGPT has a plugin that's called DALL-E, and it's also separate tools, but it's embedded in ChatGPT now. So you can ask ChatGPT to generate something by images, and then I ask it to generate a poster for me that's the topic is like a Chinese DH conference. And then I got these images. And I don't know if you know Chinese or not, but we do have 2 Chinese here. So if you know Chinese, you realize that no any words are Chinese. But if you don't know, I asked my Irish roommates, and they said, "Oh, that's good." I said, "No, because it's nothing correct." And it's a very interesting topic. And then I keep asking, as I asked ChatGPT, what's the words on the images? It said, "Oh, these are the simplified Chinese," which is wrong. And then I tried another one. So these are the Japanese text. Because I don't know Japanese, but I do have friends who know Japanese, and they told me they were wrong as well. And then I tried another one, Korean. So, because I don't know Korean, but I do have Korean friends, and they said that's not correct. Especially these ones. I think this is very correct Korean, but they are not. So it's a very interesting topic. And every time I ask ChatGPT, are these correct? ChatGPT said yes. But if you don't know, so if you use the poster, and the foreign papers will say, "Oh, you're wrong." So because I know a little bit basic knowledge of neural networks, so I try to figure out why this happens in these large models. Usually, when we train a model to do any kind of image processing, we use convolutional neural networks, which is focused on the image processing, but only image. And if you are trying to do the language text, the word processing, that we need to use, usually we use the recurrent neural networks. Even you don't know any of them, but you can tell these structures are quite different. So that means their logic are different. But that means it's a challenge to combine them together. And then I found a thing like that. So when there are a lot of neural network structures available now. I will take this for an example. That's transformer. They use transformer to combine a joint model by the text and also the images. If we see the basic logic, you can see there's a text and there's an image. And they put some algorithm there and generate something. It's a simple one. And if you look at this one, it's more complicated. But all you can see here is they never combine together. So the images go through this way and they all get together at the very last step. That means there's no any, conversations, no any bridge between the text and images, which is a very, very serious, hard, but important issue that we should pay attention to. But for the computer science, computer vision people, I don't know if they notice this question or not, or if they just ignore that. But the thing is, this is the current issue. Like we are using these kind of tools. But if you don't know the basic logic, you are just have an interface. You ask and generate something, and they are wrong. But you never have the chance to know why. So I don't know if these are the real reason, but in my opinion, we should start thinking about this because it's a very important question. But this is it's not a very simple question, but remind me, like we do have some like artworks, like similar like this. There's a kind of like, it's a artwork that the person Xu Bing, like he wrote a book, but not a book, but thousands of books. He combines all the components together, makes them look like the real Chinese characters, but they are not. And then he even did a very large exhibition about that. And he made millions of like Chinese, but they are not Chinese, they are fake Chinese. So that's an exhibition. I mean, that's a kind of art creation. But this is a way to remind us, like if you look something, so the words are only the forms, and the meanings are more importantly. So even like that reminds me to think about the Saussure's theory of signifier and signified. Even we have a signifier here, the forms, looks like, yeah, correct, or similar, but the signified, the meaning behind that is wrong, or it's no meaning of that. So I think it's a good way to let us think about the artistic expressions and the AI arrows. Because from the result, we can see, oh, they are similar. Because these are the fake one. But people are doing this on purpose because they have their thoughts to express. But for AIs, AI didn't do this on purpose. That's just an arrow. And there's another thing, that's a language bias. So I tried the Chinese, Korean, and Japanese. They were wrong. But when I tried English, when I tried Spanish and French, I can see they were still wrong. But if you look at this, so if you change just one letter, so that may be correct. Compared with that one, it's like it shows that the model is trying to get the language. I'm not sure, but they're trying to get the language. So, based on the structures, we know the model doesn't understand language at all. But why, like English and French or Spanish are getting better? Why the East Asian languages are still zero corrections? So that kind of like maybe the training data, people are using more like English materials, like French materials, Spanish materials, but they're less like materials about the Chinese, the East Asian materials. That's kind of reason. And another thing is, if we think about the training data can cause a lot of things, not only on the languages, but also, culture. So from that beginning, we can think about all the bias behind the training data. So, different cultures, different eras, maybe because of the history, because of the eras, because of the languages, because of the gender, even because of the economics, even because of the wars. If we don't have many materials about that, because when we try to ask model to analyze this, we need to have the digitized materials. But if there's nothing, if there's even no physical materials available, we cannot make that digitalized. So if in many years ago, like women has had less opportunities to get involved in education. So maybe they didn't know how to write. So less like women's writing, less women's creation, anything, materials left. So this bias just cause this current situation. So here we can see a lot of limitations just shows, a lot of bias shows in the existing database. And then that cost, because we need this data set, put them in the model training, and that caused the bias in the model. And so that's another point is, if we think about the structure, or the model, because they didn't combine together, the text and images didn't combine together. Oh, this is the reason that why the model, large language model, don't really understand the text. But the true reason is when the neural network, microphone. Oh, okay, sorry. When we put the materials in the model, the real thing that the neural networks are trying to persist is the pixels. So pixels based on the values. So you have 3 channels based on one. So there's an image there. If we crop this arrow, and that we have 3 channels for that's RGB image. So we have 3 channels for that, and each channel, has a lot of small pixels, and they are values. And so during the model scan, these arrows, it go this way. So actually, when the model is processing the images, it's processing the values, the numbers, not the true thing. So basically, they are completely different. But another interesting is when the AI generated paintings, let's see. So it scanned the image from the left to right, and it scanned a lot, and then trained the model to learn the knowledge, learn the features from the images, from the artworks. And then it learns, because it cannot only learn the global one, but also locally. So we can do the object detection. So that means the model can learn some objects from the whole big thing. Then after the model learns the components of the whole paintings, it generates something by mixing all the components together again, randomly or by any your request, your task. So it combines them together. So part of the reason is your request, and then randomly a little bit. So that looks more like creation. So make something new by randomly. And when we look at the art creation, we also see a lot of things that maybe not like the true beautiful images, but they do have, especially the modern contemporary arts. People are trying to use this to express their feelings. We can see these are all the famous paintings: Guernica, the Scream, the persistence of memories, and even drip paintings. We can see drip paintings. People get meanings from the chance, from the accident, not on purpose. I want to drip these, no. But it's a way. So that means the art creation not only focused on the result, but also focused on the process. But actually, when AI is generating these kind of things, no, that's almost like randomly. So this is a way we can understand the basic difference between the AI generating and the human art creation. And I'm thinking about another thing. So if we say, oh, they are very different, will we accept this kind of art, or do we call them art? So I think we can change to another perspective That's the audience perspective. Even I create something, like I didn't do that on purpose, but if you can get something from my stuff, it can be a kind of like artworks, especially in the contemporary arts. So I think maybe if we can really get something from the bad image generating images, but if we can get something, can that be artworks? It's a very hard question to answer, and I'm not brave to answer this question because it's quite big. But I think it's a good way to start thinking about these kind of topics. And yes, so on the one hand, we need the audience to help us. Not help us, but because the artworks is kind of like, we need to enjoy the artwork. If we do have someone to enjoy our thing, that can be an art. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm discussing this. And also, so I'm based on all these questions that I cannot answer, but it's a good way and good time to think about these questions. And then if we are going to answer these questions, maybe we can go further by have more collaborations between the humanities and arts people and the technology, computer science people together. Or we need to ask to rise these kind of things and to say, oh, for the technology people, you need to focus on this. There's still a lot of bias. Can you optimize? Can you change a little bit, revise, make that bit better? I think we need to do that. And also, we need more people to realize these issues. We need to raise the public awareness. We need more people to talk about this, not only to say it's bad or it's right, it's good. We need to think that deeply. Yes, and hopefully we will have more people get involved in this kind of era talking about these issues. We may have the continuous improvements and optimizations. And that's my presentation. Thank you very much.